Yeah. You know what it is. This is another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. We got a lot we want to cover today, man. We're going to talk about habits that'll make you rich, get you a bunch of money. We're going to talk about habits that'll get you in the best shape of your life. And we're going to show you how to get some money in the stock markets. We're going to talk about options trading, investing. Man, this is going to be one where you're going to want to watch over and over again. Send it to your friends and family. And this is going to be a life-changing episode. I'm excited. Let's get into it. Another episode of the Victory Talk podcast. I'm your host, Big Brandon Carter, and this is episode 316. This time last week, I lost somebody who I was close with, the homie Connor Murphy. Me and Connor, we worked really closely together for a number of years. I helped him get his fitness business started. We were managing his whole business, my whole team, and we really did some great things together until he took his career and life in another direction. One thing I remember about Connor Murphy was one of the first times we ever hung out. It was me, him, and a bunch of other people, and we were at this restaurant, this nice restaurant in Texas, because that's where he was going to college. And when the food came, I whipped out my food scale. You know, I track everything I eat, and I've been doing that for over 2 decades. Connor whipped out a food scale as well. And then we looked at each other like, oh, shit. Because it's very rare to meet somebody who's doing that. Even within the fitness industry, it's rare. And we were talking about how we track our macros. We track everything we eat. And Connor told me he went so hard that he weighed his condiments. You know, if he put some ketchup on there, man, he's weighing the ketchup. He's weighing the barbecue sauce. And I asked him, hey, man, what do you do on a day when maybe you don't get enough protein? Do you get more the following day? Or if you don't hit some other macro, you don't hit your calories, do you try to make up for that the following day? And he looked at me with serious face, but he was serious and almost bewildered. And he looked at me and said, yeah, that doesn't happen. Like that's not a thing. I'm going to hit my macros and my calories every day. And I looked and I was like, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm going to do this shit every day. And as a result, he was getting tons of accusations of being on steroids. Of course, I got those accusations as well. We both went on PEDs later in life. Me, because I'm older. Like I got on testosterone replacement therapy right before I turned 40 because I'm old. But back then, we were both natural. Connor didn't even drink, never smoked weed before, nothing. And then we were talking about that. I was like, yeah, man, these motherfuckers don't do this. And then they wonder why they don't get the same results. This is the thing. This is the fucking thing. If you do that for a decade, how can you lose? How could you fail? And that's your fucking problem. You motherfuckers are always trying to see how much you can get away with instead of trying to see how much you can push yourself. Instead of seeing how much of your potential you can bring to the surface. You're trying to see what's the least you can do and still get results. You looking for the shortcut. You looking for the cheat codes. And obviously, I'm not telling you not to optimize whenever possible. If you do find a cheat code or a shortcut, take it. Don't make shit more difficult than it needs to be. But you don't need to be looking for shortcuts if you can't do the basics. You don't need to be looking for the easiest way if you can't do the simple shit. You don't deserve a shortcut if you don't have the basics down pat. Him and I were both natural at the time, but we were getting results that people thought were unbelievable. See, here's the thing. If you have a fitness goal or a life goal or a business goal, don't approach the goal like, hey, what's the least I can do? Or how much can I get away with and still get the results? What's the 80-20? You don't deserve the 80-20 shit, motherfucker. You need to go 100%. So most of you are approaching your goals like pussies. And you wonder why you're not making progress. You pussyfooting around this shit. Hey, let's say there was a bug in your house. Your house, not my house. I live in a sky palace. Got a private elevator. You need a fob to get there. A bug can't get in here. This is not their natural habitat. I don't know if they can acclimate to this climate or at altitude. But let's say there's a bug in your house, which sounds a lot more realistic. You could try to step on it, get you a fly swatter, throw a chancleta at it. But the thing is, you might miss. Now, let's say we see a bug, fuck it. Let's fumigate the whole house or call an exterminator when we see one bug, right? That's guaranteed to work. The other one, you might make it, you might miss it. That's how you're approaching your goals. You're thinking, hey man, what do I have to do to accomplish this goal? The thing is, that kind of effort is going to cause you to behave in a way where you might miss. So instead of saying, hey man, what do I have to do to accomplish this goal? Think, how much effort would I have to put in to make failure impossible? Yeah, that's a way more intense method of going about your goal. If you do that, you'll win. If you do that, and then when you see what that plan is and then execute it consistently, you will win. I remember when I was first learning how to play the guitar. Well, no, I had been playing for a little while and I was pretty good, and so good enough that a singer paid me to play at one of her gigs. It was just, she was like a singer and I was just gonna play the guitar while she was singing. And I had a guitar teacher at the time. And we were working on this song that had some chords in it that I wasn't as familiar with, you know, like 7th chords and 9 chords, you know, like jazzy type chords that were a little more complex than what I had grown accustomed to. And we were working on the piece, and we were working on it, and then I got it. And I was like, yeah, I did it. And he looked at me and said, all right, yeah, you got it once. But I'll never forget this. He said, amateurs practice till they get it right. Professionals practice till they can't get it wrong. You know what I'm saying? Amateurs practice till they get it right. Professionals practice till they can't get it wrong. That's the kind of attitude you got to have. What kind of effort would I have to put in to make it impossible to fail? A professional would practice that piece until he couldn't do it wrong. Like the muscle memory would be so ingrained into his cranium that there was no way that he could get it wrong. I once heard a story about Larry Bird, and he had to film a McDonald's commercial, and he had to miss a three-pointer. No, he had to miss a free throw. He had to miss a free throw for the commercial. And it took him mad attempts to miss it, right? Because he had practiced so much that missing it was hard. That's what I'm talking about. You got to put in so much effort that it would be missing the goal would be hard. That's what you need to do. Or make peace with the fact that you don't want it that bad. And that's okay as long as you make peace with it. There was a point where I wanted to be a doctor. I thought it'd be a good idea, man. Dr. Carter, operating on motherfuckers. Then I realized how long they had to go to school and how much that would cost them. And I was like, you know what? I'm good. And I made peace with that. What I don't do is see a doctor and be like, well, it was easy for him, or he's cheating, or that's when you become a hater. That's how haters are born, right? They weren't willing to do what the other person did. So they become cynical and bitter. It's hard to succeed under those circumstances when you're living in that environment. And when I say in that environment, in your head, right? It's like you have a cloud of hate over you, and it's hard to see the sun past those clouds. Now, when I see a doctor, I'm like, hey, man, you did your thing, man. You spent a lot of money. You went to the school, and good for you, man. Now, write me that prescription for that Adderall. Give me them peptides, motherfuckers, before I fuck you up. But I'm not a hater. You hear what I'm saying? Some of y'all become haters. Now, it is true that some people have some advantages that you don't have, and that means you have to work harder than them. Then just work harder than them. Don't nobody give a fuck about your circumstances. Don't nobody you can't go to the fucking Rolls Royce dealership, be like, hey man, I know I ain't got the money or credit to qualify this car, man, but you got to understand, man, my dad wasn't around, and I grew up in the hood, and I got school and work, and all these kids, man, I can't find the time to. You can't pay your bills with that, man. You can't buy luxury items with that. Hey, man, last time you might have some good excuses, some real good excuses. Last time I checked, I can't pay my son's tuition with excuses. No, sir. No, sir. It's not a currency that's accepted, not for the exchange of goods and services. You can't go up to a bad chick that you really like and be like, yo, listen, I know I ain't got the kind of body that you find attractive, but you got to understand I got school and work. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that shit don't work. Don't nobody give a fuck. You can't be like, yeah, I know I'm not as fit as you want. I ain't got the six pack like the guys you're attracted to, but you got to understand, man. You got to understand. Brandon Carter has some advantages that I don't have, so you should give me the pussy anyway. No, it don't work like that. I promise you it don't. I promise you it don't. Of that, I assure you. So what's the takeaway? The takeaway is look at your goals, your major goals, right? Pick one goal from the three major categories: health and fitness, right? Health, wealth, money, and relationships. Pick one goal for each one of those. And then make a plan that requires you to put in so much effort and to go so hard that failure would be impossible. And I promise you, it's gonna look way different than the bullshit you've been doing up until this point. I guarantee it. And now you got to look at that plan. Once you have it and say, do I want it this bad? And you're gonna have to be honest with yourself, because whether you can say yes or you can say no, but what happens next, your behavior following you making that plan is going to tell the truth about how bad you want it. You know, you can say anything, you can bullshit yourself, you can do all types of shit, but your behavior will tell the truth. If you actually execute that plan, that's the truth, regardless of what you say. You can lie to all of us. You can lie to everyone else, but you can't bullshit yourself. You'll know. But if you have enough discipline, courage, gumption, mental fortitude to execute that plan, I promise you, you will win. I promise you, you will win. Your success will be inevitable. And then because you know that you're going after that plan, that's going to take away all the fear, right? Right now, you may be fear. You might have timidity. You may be scared to go after your goal. But if you go after it the way the fuck I just told you how to, oh shit. What's going to happen is the fear will go away because you know I can't fail if I do this. Every once in a while, somebody asks me that. They say, well, what if you put in that kind of effort and you still fail? It doesn't happen. That's not how it works. If you made the plan where it's impossible to fail, it's going to be intense. In fact, it's going to be so intense once you start executing it. Everybody's going to say you're crazy. You need to relax. You need to live a little. You're doing too much. You got to, everything in moderation. Those are the battle cries of the mediocre. And when you hear people saying those things, that's how you know you're on the right path. If no one's telling you you're going too hard, that means you're not going hard enough. Why? Because it looks normal to them. Like extreme success, extreme effort requires extreme actions. If you want to guarantee success, it's going to take extreme effort. And you will, by definition, be an extremist, at least in those endeavors. And most people are not extremists. Most people are regular, normal, average. And they do regular, normal, average shit. Ain't nothing wrong as long as they're happy, man. I don't give a fuck, right? But you and I, our ambitions are a little different than that. We don't want it regular shit. We don't want to be average because you know what average gets you? The average American is 17 pounds overweight. The average American has less than $1,000 in a bank account. Fat losers, all right? Now, they may be happy. They may have redeeming qualities outside of their work ethic, right? But we don't want the same outcomes that they have. So when they see, and they haven't even thought about doing what the fuck I'm talking about. So when they see it in action, when they see it in real life, it's going to look fucking insane to them. And they'll vocalize it. And when they do, I want you to take that as, yeah, I'm on the right path. If you're not hearing that, you need to reevaluate your plan, brother, because that means you are not on the right path. That means your actions is not extreme enough, because extreme success can only come from extreme actions. There is no version of reality where it can happen different. I implore you to do that. And if you do, 90 days from now, your whole life can change. Your whole life can change in 90 days. But that's what it's going to take. Hey, if one of your goals is fitness, you want to get in the best shape of your life, one way, an easy way to ensure that you don't fail, to ensure that you succeed no matter what, is to find out how many calories and macros you need to hit every day. Super simple, right? I put together something for you. It's free, and it's called the Ripped Roadmap. All right, all you got to do, this is where you can start, and all you got to do is go to click the link in the description, Rip Roadmap. And what's going to happen next? Oh, And what's going to happen is you hit this button and you'll put in your height, weight, age, and upload a picture of yourself. And this AI is going to analyze the picture, analyze everything you put in, and tell you. Oh, then it's going to, before it does that, it's going to ask you what your goal is. You want to build muscle? Do you want to get ripped? Do you want to have get your abs to show? Whatever the case may be. Right? You put in your gender too. Women can fill this out too. I know there's like 2 or 3 of y'all watching. You know. And then it's going to give you exactly what it's going to tell you exactly what your body fat percentage is. It's going to tell you exactly what your body fat percentage is, how much body fat you're holding, and most importantly, it's going to tell you exactly how many calories you need to hit every day to accomplish your goal, and how much protein you need to get. And you'll be able to adjust the fats and carbs. Some people like high carbs and low fat. Some people like low carbs and high fat. That's me. Some people like a balance. You'll be able to make that adjustment. You can hit that slider. You can do the protein is going to stay the same for everybody, right? All right. And it's going to give you a game plan, and it's going to tell you what you can expect week by week if you follow that plan. 100% free. Go ahead, click the link in the description. Should be the first link. Fill that out. All right. Yo, Greg, sorry that took longer than I wanted it to, man, but I know we about to get in. We about to talk about some shit. All right. Listen, guys, this is episode 316, the Victory Talk podcast. I came in hot. All right. I came in hot. I'm your host, Big Brandon Carter, King Keto, Gymnasium Jesus, the King of Ketosis. All right. Real quick, before we get breaking, we got one of the sponsors, boom, Thought Repellent. We're going to have this out. We're going to unleash this in the community within about 2 weeks. If we get enough super chats, all your super chats go towards development of Thought Repellent. All right. Super chats to me or to Greg. Greg's about to come in. We're going to talk about the stock market and shit. If you wanted him to evaluate any fucking stocks or some shit, or me to do it, we're gonna get into that. And special shout out to my co-host assistant, DJ Chiquita Grande, man. She monitoring the chat, kicking out the haters. Let's get it, man. Yo, Greg, let's go. Yo, Greg, what's popping, man?
Man, we have a lot to cover today. It's a special episode.
Yeah, so what I wanted you to do today, man, you got a presentation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah. So what I want to ask you today, man, is you got a presentation where you're going to show us about options?
Yep, you got it. Option spreads. It's not going to be a master class. It's going to be super simple. Okay.
All right. Yo, option spreads. Let's get it, man. So now, all right, let's jump into it. Hold on, let me all right, because we've been making a lot of money with the spreads.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So basically, the title of this presentation is Option Spreads Made Simple. Mm-hmm. And you might be asking yourself, why should I be listening to this nerd that looks like Clark Kent? You know? Well, I've been trading options for 10 years. I'm a certified options trader by TD Ameritrade, which actually is now Charles Schwab. So they actually merged over. I'm what's called a chartered market technician, which means I'm a professional analyst when it comes to analyzing and forecasting securities. And I've also got my Series 65, which qualifies me to manage money once I'm registered with the SEC.
Let's go.
So basically what we're going to be covering today is what options are, calls, puts, a simple call example, what option spreads are. Okay. I'm going to give you an example with Microsoft. Okay. And
it's only micro when it's soft.
Yeah. It's only micro when it's soft. Yeah. Not macro hard. We're going to talk about the pros and cons because every option strategy has a benefit and a drawback. We're going to talk about when to use spreads and when you want to regularly be buying options. And then we'll just do a quick recap. And be sure to read the disclaimer there. None of this is financial advice.
Yo, don't do nothing we say. Don't do nothing we say.
Nothing.
It's not financial advice, man. We are bad with money.
You are solely responsible.
We both make Go ahead. No, you should do the
You're
proper
solely
shit.
responsible for your losses, but
Yeah.
also your gains.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. So and you listen, man. We make a lot of money with options, but listen, man, we can't guarantee you'll make a goddamn dime. All right.
Yep.
If the
No
SEC, hey, yo,
guarantees.
if the SEC is listening, we telling them not to do this shit. We just showing them how.
Yeah.
We ain't telling them to do shit. SEC, we love y'all, by the way, man. Let us know where we can donate.
Yeah. Let us know where we can go.
Let us know. All right, let's keep going.
This is strictly for educational purposes.
Yeah.
Only.
We just teachers.
We just teach them. That's
All
it. All right. So what is an option? So an option derives off of an asset. So think about when you're buying and selling stock, that's the asset. The option moves based on how the asset moves. So basically, there's another dimension to options trading. When you buy stock, you make money. When it goes up, you lose money. When it goes down. With an option, it gets a little bit more complex. You need to not only be right on the direction, but how far in that direction, and then also the time frame of that direction. Okay. So 2 types of options. There's calls and there's puts. You can do any combination of these calls and puts, and you can buy calls and sell calls, buy puts and sell puts. But to keep it simple, we buy a call when we're bullish, when we think the stock is going to go up a lot. Okay. We buy a put when we are bearish the stock, when we think the stock is going to drop a lot. You lose if stocks go sideways on both calls and puts if you're buying them. That's the key.
If it's just calls and puts, right? It's not a spread. Got it.
Yep. When it's not a spread, a simple call, simple put, you lose money when it goes sideways. So options are kind of cool because you have a lot of leverage. You can control a lot of the asset with a little bit amount of money. However, because of that, that's what makes them a little bit riskier because you have to be right on so many different time frames. A big benefit of options is it's a defined max loss. So you can't lose infinite amounts of money. You can't get your asshole blown out shorting GameStop. Whatever you put into the option when you're buying options, that's the most that you can lose. Okay. Don't forget that they have an expiration date. So when we're buying stock, we're buying shares, you get to own that asset forever. As long as it's still a company and still, producing cash flow and still on the open market, you can hold it forever. An option, we got an end date. We got a due date on this thing. Okay. You better be on point if you're buying calls or buying puts.
That's one of the things that initially dissuaded me from doing options because there's so many ways to be wrong.
Yep. So
when you buy stock, you can it goes up, or you bet it goes up, or you bet it goes down, and there's only one way to be wrong. But with options, there's a lot of different ways to be wrong.
That's why I'm actually so passionate about teaching this, because a lot of people get into options and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're buying calls, they're buying puts out of the money. They lose 100% of their investment. They get into a gambler's mindset. They revenge trade, and then their account's gone. So I hope this education helps you guys a lot, because I'm a master of spreads. It's my niche. And so first of all, we're just going to get into a quick call example. So first we have the ticker symbol, Microsoft. That's the asset. The expiration date, August 28th. The strike price, $390. So we're expecting Microsoft to go up well past $390. If you're buying the $390 call, you want Microsoft to go well above $390. Okay. I'm just going to pull up. There it is. So Microsoft, it's trading at 401. Great. That means the option has value. We make unlimited money if we're buying a call and it goes straight up. Great way to get involved in the market, but we can do a little bit better. What's also cool, again, you get to control nearly 100 shares of Microsoft for a fraction of the cost. So this call option costed me $2,522.
Okay.
But if I were to buy 100 shares of Microsoft at $390, that's going to cost me 39 G's, 39 grand.
Yeah,
I don't want to spend 39 grand on 100 Microsoft shares.
No, you don't. Nobody want to do that. Not yet.
Not yet. So again, great. You're able to control a lot of Microsoft. The cons are if Microsoft goes sideways or down, this $2,500 gets chipped away and it dies really fast.
Yeah.
Okay. So you really messed up if you bought a call option and it goes sideways or down. Okay. So now let's get into an option spread. And again, this isn't a master class. This is just an introduction. Okay. We're buying a call, but we're also selling another call. What that does is it makes it so much cheaper. I see people buying super far out of the money options and they just lose all their money. It burns away instantly. But when we're doing a spread, what's cool about it is it's lower cost. We reduce the time decay because if we're buying a call and selling a call, now we don't get crushed if it goes sideways. If it goes sideways, we're totally cool. So we don't need to be watching the charts all day.
Yeah.
Okay. It reduces volatility exposure, aka your money doesn't swing up and down crazily. It's going to be a lot more smoothed out. So an option, think of it like this: shares will be like the lowest volatility. Then call spreads or spreads, that's going to be a little bit more volatility than shares. So it's going to make you more money, but also potentially lose you a little bit more money than shares. And then regular single options, that's going to be the most wild. That's where you're going to see thousands of dollars swinging around every which way. Again, though, it's defined risk. Okay, so we can see that we're buying the 390 call and we're selling the 390 call. Same expiration date. We ain't doing no calendar spreads and stuff like that. But notice, look, now because of that, it's a lot cheaper. Look, now this only costs $240.
Come on, man.
Instead of $2,000. So
yeah.
$2,500 for just the regular call. Now it's only $240. That's the most I can lose. And what's cool about it is, again, theta's smoothed out. We can the biggest downside of a spread is we have what's called a max gain. You can't be out here making millions of dollars off of it. It's way more consistent though. Okay, so our max,
we're capping our losses, but we're also cap our gains.
Yep. In exchange for a higher probability of profit and smoother returns.
Yeah. Life's a game of trade-offs.
You know? It's a game of trade-offs. So you're sacrificing your unlimited upside to have a better chance of making some bread. That sounds good to me. I like good chances of making some money.
Come on, man. You ain't got to tell me.
I know. So spreads. So what are the cons of spreads? So here are the pros: lower cost, defined risk, less theta decay. It's cool if it goes sideways and you're in a spread, depending on the spread that you chose. If it's in the money, theta's no problem and it works for you. If a spread is out of the money, theta's working against you. Better capital efficiency. So it's great for small accounts, great for if you're just beginning out and then starting with trading. But what are the cons? Well, we talked about it earlier. The profit is capped. A regular call has unlimited upside. Look, here's what the legs look like. The call is up $416. Cool. But the call that I sold is down $388. Net, it's back up $26, you know, because we're making $416 on one, but we're losing $388 on the other. You know, that's your gain is capped. It's harder to enter and exit just because the more legs that you have, it's a two-legged option. It takes a lot to get into the trade and to get out. So you might spend a little bit more getting in and out. So it's not the best for like day trading. If you're day trading, you can just slap on a call, get out. But with spreads, you're not going to be hopping in and out of these every few minutes. Another con is that it's just slightly more complex. If you're brand new to options, this probably sounds like a whole new language to you.
Yeah. And I would imagine. Because I remember like this shit is confusing, man. You got to be in it for a while to really get it.
Yeah. And I think that you'll learn best if you're like watching like the trade alerts in Victory Trades, you know, the educational trade alerts, and then you simulate trade them for a bit, you know? I think that's where people learn the fastest because they see how it moves in real time, what the stock or asset does, and then what the spread does. Okay. So when to use each? Okay. You only buy a single call or put if you expect a very large move. You only buy a single call or put if you have a lot of conviction. Like you got to be like, man, I would be pissed if I missed this setup. I need to take a regular call or regular put. Another factor between a regular call and put is the implied volatility. We're not going to get into that, but if it's super expensive, you don't want to be buying a straight up call or put. If it's cheap and you expect a big move, that's where you can make the bread. That's where you can make huge amounts of money. You buy a single call or put if you want uncapped upside. You're still capped if you buy a put because the stock can only go to 0, but you can make a good amount. Yeah. I like to buy calls or puts when there's an explosive chart pattern with volume. So for example, on Microsoft earlier this year, it was breaking out. That's why I'm buying regular calls. I'm not buying spreads right over here. I want to get that unlimited pop. And since it went up so fast, boom, you make 200, 300% in just a day or two. So that's when we want to be just doing regular calls and puts. But we want to do a spread when you think your entry may not be perfect. I don't always get a perfect entry. I'm not always perfect. I'm not out here, making billions of dollars trading like Trump or somebody like that.
Yeah. No, man. Listen, man, he's killing it.
He's killing it.
You know what I'm saying? He's putting up hedge fund numbers.
He's putting up hedge fund numbers.
Like one man.
One man. His teleprompter man is racking in hundreds of thousands.
You saw that shit I sent you?
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. Yo, anyway, let's keep going.
That's worse than robbing a bank, but I digress.
Yeah.
So you do a spread where you expect kind of a direction, but it can just be a moderate move. You don't need the stock to go up 20, 30, 40%. Even if it just goes slightly in your direction, you can make 100%, 200%, 300%, but you're capped at a certain point depending on what you choose. You do a spread if you want a lower cost. Like, hey, I'm withdrawn from my stock accounts. I want to do some smaller plays while I still am just getting used to things. You want reduced theta decay. Again, that's that moderate move. It's nice if you prefer a more consistent risk to reward. Because when you're out here buying options, you're going to have crazy 1,000% gains, and you're also going to have 100% losses, 50% losses. It's wild. It's all over the place. If you want to make your trading more consistent, I highly recommend spreads, option spreads. Oh, I don't recommend, but I do option spreads on things like Microsoft, Google, Amazon. So the liquid large caps, SPY, SPX, NASDAQ, QQQ. That's where you want to be doing those spreads. Another reason to do spreads is, hey, I don't want to be sitting at the charts all day, You want to be productive with your day, and there's only so much trading you can really do. That's why in the first 2 to 3 hours in the morning, that's where I do the crazy stuff. And then I have the spreads working in the background as a swing trade. It's really easy to follow a spread. It's harder to follow a single option because if you miss an exit, hundreds of dollars could be gone in a few minutes. So that's really why I like spreads. I think it's one of the best ways to trade the financial markets. It's super simple. Calls are bullish, puts are bearish. Buying options always defined risk. We're not going to talk about selling options. Spreads, lower costs, great for accounts less than $1,000. You got to be doing spreads.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be out here buying regular options. You can blow your account fast. I want you guys to save your account. Again, the trade-off for spreads, you just can't have unlimited upside. But because of that, you're getting a higher probability of profit. So the goal isn't to use just one strategy all the time. It's to choose the strategy that best matches your market outlook, your trade idea, and then your overall risk tolerance. Okay. So that's a quick presentation on spreads. I've got spreads for days. There's cheap spreads that you can do. Like, this one, $35 can turn into 1,000 tomorrow. 35 bucks turns into 1,000 if ASML drops. That Microsoft call spread will make 100% if Microsoft is the same price or higher in a month and a half. Okay. So it doesn't need to be too crazy. But that's the presentation on spreads. You guys got any questions?
I like it, man. You do have a super question.
Let's get it.
You do have a super question. You see it? Oh, there you go. It's up on the screen.
Oh, Hanzo Griffin.
Come on, man.
Hanzo Griffin says, past 3 eval accounts today. Had to show some love on the stream. See you on the victory stream tomorrow. Hanzo trades live with me every single day. And he just realized that he had some evals that were about to expire tomorrow. And so he went and traded, and I was like, hey, you could probably spam some NQ longs over here.
Let's go.
And he traded all day today, passed 3 accounts in one day. That's a big deal. Like, that's not easy to do. Congratulations.
All in one day.
All in one day. All in one day.
That's fucking crazy, man.
You said F it. We're going.
Yeah. Guys, if you want to trade with us, we trade live I haven't been on the last week and a half because my computer's fucked up, but I'll have it fixed. I'm going to have it fixed this weekend.
Yeah. You got my text, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Cool,
so I'm gonna have it fixed ASAP, and I'll be back on. But you can trade live with us in this, if you join Victory Trades, we trade futures live, and we do you'll get Greg's trade alert straight to your phone.
Yep. It'll go straight to your phone. It'll be in the alerts channel. You'll also get it through WAP, and it also sends an email. So you got 3 places to find it.
Yeah. It's hard to lose, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to lose under those circumstances.
Yeah, futures trading has been picking up really well. I got some more funded accounts. Simus got a 50K funded account. Took him 2 weeks, and that's on Tradeify. I haven't worked with Tradeify, so I don't know if they're good or not, but we'll see. We'll see what happens when the payouts start rolling in. But, we had Jacob make some money off of the trade alert today. $55, nothing crazy. We had Chris over here make $3,000 today, $3,000 cash. And so he's a very knowledgeable trader. He's paying attention to the trade ideas in Discord. And so, yeah, it's a good time. But Brandon, what you got for me? Do you have any questions, any stocks? Should I go into the quick market update or what?
Go into your market update. I have some.
Quick market update. S&P 500 still trapped. When I said we were sideways for the summer, I wasn't expecting this sideways. We have been at the same price for the past 2 months. Hasn't gone up a whole lot or down a whole lot from there. Both bulls and bears have been wrong if they've made like a super bullish bet for the past 2 months or super bearish bet for that matter. One thing to pay attention to is the NASDAQ's a little bit weaker, and it is a leading indicator. So if the NASDAQ starts to take out some of these lows, we got a descending triangle. Things can get ugly very quickly. As early as next week, it could take a couple weeks, but watch the support level. Watch QQQ 700. Beneath it is bear. Above it is just neutral. QQQ is only really bull if it gets above 740. Okay. So we're still trapped into that volatility vortex. And there are crazy
volatility vortex.
Yep. The volatility vortex, the apex of the pennant. Even in the last 10 minutes today, you guys, if you had $10 in your trading account and you put it into an SPX call, $10 into 1,000, that's a 21, that's about a 10,000% gain. 10,000% gain in the last 10 minutes. That just shows how violent some of the moves are in the market. And they can happen out of nowhere too. A random tweet, random news catalyst, an institution gobbles up a ton of liquidity at a strange price. It's crazy. Taking a look at SMH, that's starting to break down. This might be a bit weak. And if it is, it can take the market down with it. Okay. Bitcoin /BTC, chopping, dead sideways. No edge either way. I will short the shit out of it if it breaks 60K. I'll buy puts on IBIT, layered expirations. Okay. So that's Bitcoin. There are some strong stocks though. Microsoft, it's only up 1.38%, but that's pretty good for the NASDAQ being down almost 2%. I alerted a call trade at the lows of day on Microsoft calls. Technically, it was a call spread. And we got a nice little pump. And I just said, hey, taking this off for 100% gain. Cool. Victory Trades members doubled their money in about 30 to 40 minutes. Microsoft still looks good, though. As long as it's above 400, the short-term breakout is sticking. Okay? Short-term, maybe end of August, I think Microsoft is like 430. Okay? End of year, Microsoft 480. End of next year, Microsoft 580 to 600. Those are my price targets.
So it's time. It's time to get in. It's not advice, right? But
it's not advice. I'd say like Microsoft is a value play right now. You know, and I am long Microsoft. You can do whatever the hell you want. You know, you can do whatever the hell you want. We talked about it when it was down at 380. We talked about it on this breakout. Now it's up, you know, it's up about 5% since that level. That Leaps call that we talked about, that's up $300. You guys took that? There's $300 for you. You know, some other setups that I noted on the podcast. Apple, I said you can buy this bull flag break over 316. Apple up 6% since that bull flag break. You know, we talked about XLV. XLV is starting to bounce back a little bit. We talked about UNH. UNH had earnings today. Fat ass gapping crap. Okay, so that's crazy. We talked about Amazon. Amazon over 250 got a good pop. It popped 2.5%, but now it's reversing. We have what's called a lot of pattern failures. The market's breaking out and then not sticking. They're trying to trap a lot of traders, and it's really interesting to see what will happen next week. Were they just accumulating a bunch of big ass short positions to tank the market? That's why they sometimes hold it up in a range, because they're accumulating positions one way. And it's tough to say which way it is, but the way it's looking, they might have been accumulating short positions or hedges, and then they just release it.
That would make sense. I mean, that would make sense, you know?
Yeah.
We're probably due for a correction, right? Like a real correction. Like, look how it's been straight up. Yeah.
Bruh, market went up 35% with no pullbacks.
So we're probably like a large correction wouldn't be. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It'd be healthy. Even from here, for the market to drop 10%, QQQ 10%. I do think it's a dip buy if it gets there.
And if that happens, every fucking financial YouTube page, all their thumbnails are gonna be all the thumbnails with fire in the background.
We didn't see it coming. What the hell happened?
That's gonna be every financial thumbnail.
Should have tuned into the Victory Talk podcast, because then
the
technical analysis, they'd see the breakdown and then they could trade it. I did buy a little bit of NBIS today. I still think that the stock drops. I'm glad I exited half of my position up here in the 260s to 280s. If this can drop, you know, maybe another 15 to 20%, I think it's a great location to accumulate. That's not advice. I'm just saying that's what I'm doing. I'm accumulating NBIS. I already sold some bullish credit spreads, 160, expiring at the end of August. So if it is 1 penny above $160 per share, I make 100% on my money. Risk 250 to make 250. And that's a good deal for just, I just need it above 160. Any
that's all
price
you need.
above. If it sells off and stays sold off, cool. I lost 250. Shit happens. That's one trade. I still like copper. Copper's just hanging out. It is down today. It's just really not doing too much as of right now. And I still like XLV. XLV, it's being a little bit more constructive. If this can really start to get going, that's great. I like call options if it can break above 165. End of year call options, next year call options. Or you can just grab shares. Shares move very peacefully, and you get that dividend as well. I also bought yesterday Medtronic, MDT. It's a Minnesota healthcare company. And what's cool about Medtronic is it pays 3.6% in dividends per year. 3.6%. I believe it pays them monthly. So every share that you buy, you get 72 cents back. Not too bad. And the fair value of the stock is $113 per share. So just on the stock price from here can appreciate 35%, and you can get that 3.6% while you wait. Great addition to a portfolio, in my opinion. Again, though, it may not fit your risk tolerance or needs, but it looks like a good one as of right now.
I like it.
Yeah, that's what I've got for you guys.
All right, you got some questions, man.
Macaro.
I'm a peep while you answer those questions.
Mike Rodriguez, 7570 with the $2. He says, Greg, is options better than Forex with low capital? That's a good question. I think it depends on what your skills are and how do you want to dedicate your time? You know, do you want to be out here day trading? Are you going to be out here swing trading? Me personally, I am biased. I will say options is better than Forex. If I really want to take a Forex trade, I'd rather trade an option on an ETF that's based off a Forex pair or something like the dollar. So I would say options are better. I would say if you have low capital, I would say futures is also really good. You know, we do futures trading with Apex Trader Funding. It costs $20 for an evaluation and like $60 to activate your funded account. Then your fees are done. The goal is to just preserve that funded account and extract payouts from Apex. Play their little game, stick to their little rules, and that's one of the better ways I think you can capitalize off of a small account. Otherwise, you know, it's really tough to make a good living in trading if you've got $1,000, $500. It just puts so much more pressure onto you. If you have a smaller account, you want to get good. You want to practice on the simulator. You want to boost your income however you can, whether it be through your job, your business, a side hustle. Because then you need to auto deposit into your account, $100 a week, whatever you can do, because you're really just going to be spinning your wheels if you're going to try and turn $500 into $1 million. You know, like Ross Cameron out here, which good for him. He's a good trader. That's what I'd say.
Yeah,
I do prefer options to Forex.
Okay. Yes. Same.
Yeah. Alexander Lopez, good to see you. Looking good. He says, thanks, Greg. Thank you, sir. All right. Eliza Cohen, thoughts on Google TA, please. And also, what about QQQ? Yeah, you got it. So Google, they said that they're delaying their Gemini 3.5, and the market algos just ran with it. Look at this breakdown. And by the way, look at this setup. Higher lows, lower highs, breakdown. You know, you can enter.
All because of the new release of Gemini?
Yeah. So the casual 6.5% drop, 7% drop. Yeah. I know, right?
Yo, I don't know. I'm gonna look into that, but that might be a buy, man. Because they probably delayed it because Claude just launched Fable, and OpenAI launched Soul, and those are like their top frontier models, and they're really good. I mean, they're good, but it shit ain't whatever. But Gemini's gonna come with some shit, man.
Oh yeah, I love Gemini. It's good.
And Gemini's cheaper than all of those. Like if you're running the API stuff, you know, like if you're building stuff the way like real businesses use it, like they're not just, it's not about just the chat bot, like a real business. If you're running API calls, well, it's cheaper, but OpenAI is not as cheap, but it costs less tokens, so it's more token efficient. I don't know if that makes it. Wait. Gemini's real is a cheaper model. I built the app the other day and I use Gemini. When I built the roadmap, I use Gemini to evaluate because I feel like it has like one of the best image models, you know?
Yeah, images are really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, OpenAI has good images too, for sure. But like as far as evaluating images, it was cheaper to use Gemini, right? And a lot of other businesses know that. So if their new model is like on par with those other two, man, I don't know, man. I think it might be a dip buy. I'm gonna look into it though.
I would say it's, yeah, I think. So here's the thing. Google has earnings on July 22nd. Almost none of this price action even matters.
You know, they have earnings. Yeah.
Yeah. Like literally it could be down 20% from here. Earnings could just send it up 30%. Obviously I'm biased. I'm leaning bullish. Anything can happen from earnings. I've gotten dumped on Google earnings before. Most of the time I've made money with Google earnings, but long-term Google, I think it's at least a $480 stock, possibly $580 in the next 2 to 3 years. And their balance sheet is so healthy. So they're able to withstand just a lot of turmoil that gets thrown at them. And I don't see a lot of drawdown. So Google's a great risk-adjusted asset, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm bullish.
Yeah. So Google still has the growth, has the healthy balance sheet. Microsoft's the value play. Amazon can get back into growth if they can really do good with AI automation and bots and faster delivery, updating consumer preferences. So that's something to consider. Apple's chart is doing good. Apple has a lot of cash on the balance sheet. To me, it's not a buy. I wouldn't be buying Apple up here. I definitely wouldn't short it.
Remember somebody was telling us, man, like in 2020 that Apple was at its high in 2020. It was never going to get higher. Remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, that was it, man. Listen, I'm wrong.
We all make mistakes.
I'm wrong sometimes too. But
yeah,
I don't know if I've been this wrong.
Yeah,
publicly.
The same thing was about Nvidia. And it's okay to update your opinion. Like,
it's okay to update.
Remember, I said Apple's never going to make all-time highs. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with being bearish is you miss out on the compound growth of the markets.
Yeah.
And you lose money. That
dude made us a lot of money. So like no hate. It's just always fun. It's just always funny when I think it. Like that's I got nothing but love for him. But
for sure. I guess I'm speaking in general. Most of the time the market goes up. And so it's really hard to be bearish. It might be one of those times to be bearish. I've got some puts expiring next week. I'm bracing for impact.
I'm willing to change my opinion at any moment.
That's mature.
Like at any moment I'm confronted with new information, I'm willing to change my opinion. But a lot of people are stubborn in their opinions. It's not just in this, just in general. People have this opinion, and it's almost like people don't believe what they see what they believe.
Yeah.
And I try to combat that as often as possible.
We view the world through the lens of our experiences and belief sets.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And that's why the reticular activation system is so interesting. It's on your mind. You start to see more of it in the real world. That's why when you're constantly focused on your goals, you start to achieve your goals more because you're actually working on it throughout the entire day.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact, man. There's no more questions for Greg? Guys, if you want to trade with us, you can join Victory Trades. Links in the description. It's one of the links in the description. You'll get Greg's trade alert straight to your phone every day. All right, straight to your phone every day. Also, not only that, you're also going to you can trade live with us. I haven't been on this week, but I'm going to be on next week, back on next week because I'm having computer issues. But you can trade live with us every day, Greg and I, and we trade futures. You see the kind of results we putting up. It's a lot of fun, and you get a bunch of free courses. Yeah, Greg used to sell for money, but you get them for free when you join Victory Trades. So hit that link, man. Let's just get it.
Those courses used to cost thousands of dollars. Now they're just included with your Victory Trades membership.
They are.
So if you like that presentation that I gave at the beginning, you're going to see a lot of that.
Come on.
It's a little taste.
Awesome. It's just a little taste.
Just a little taste. Pause. Peace out, you guys.
All right, guys. All right, man. Peace. I think I got some super chats. They got some super chats for your boy before we get into the next thing.
You have one from Drizzy Dre. Brandon, you the truth. I have to get back on my 2.0 grind with the modules. Appreciate your efforts to make us successful.
Yeah. Oh, so it sounds like you in HCT. Yo, listen, go watch the replay from last week. Like I made some tools for y'all that are going to be really helpful. Like some brand new tools, and then they're in HTT, and you got to watch the last replay so you can access them. And it's really gonna help you. I made 2 different fucking tools for y'all. It's gonna be lit, man. Make sure you fuck with it. All right. What else we got going on?
We have Murad. I just started reading the book Relentless, and I'm also listening to it audio every day until it clicks through. Smart move,
brother. Oh, he's just saying that, no question. He's just showing love. Hey, man, I'm glad I put you on to that, man. I'm glad I could help. Let's go.
He's just updating you on his books.
I like it. You know what I'm saying? This man, he can be doing a lot worse things than reading books, Shout out to you.
We have Alex BC sending my thanks. I plan on asking for cash flow next week since I'm writing stories for passive income. I just want something more proactive.
You plan on asking me for cash flow?
I think this is job.
Oh, he's asking about cash flow. Got it. I think he meant asking about how to get cash flow, not for me to give him cash.
He's in the chat, so maybe he'll give us some more details.
Give us an update, man, some clarity on that shit, man. Because oh man, I got school and work, man. I can't. All right, what else we got?
We have Rekna. How to execute a new 4-hour focus block in week 1.
Oh man, so you got to plan you got to go on your calendar, and start planning everything, like plan your whole calendar out, right? So go on your calendar and put in what time you wake up, what time you go to sleep, like what time you're going to be asleep each day, how many hours you're going to sleep, your work, put all those in as recurring tasks, right? Because you can do that in Google Calendar. And then and put in all the other stuff that you just put in everything you have in your calendar, and then you're going to have white space. And then what you could do, man, is just open Google Gemini, because it's free and it's connected to your Google Calendar by default because it's a Google thing. And you say, hey man, this week I need 4 hours of deep work. Find the open blocks in my calendar and schedule them. I need 4 hours each day. That's what I'm assuming you said, right? Because that's what I'll be saying. I need 4 hours each day this week. Find the open blocks in it. Boom. And just have a conversation with Gemini, and they'll do it for you. Gemini's free. I suggest you just do it to that, because you're gonna have to add Claude. You can do it with Claude, but you got to connect it, which is not a big deal, or Gronk, or you can connect them to any of them. But Gemini is just, if I'm doing some calendar shit, I just go on Gemini. It's like, it's seamless. It seems to just work better. All right.
That's all we got.
That's all we got. Hey guys, what I want to share with y'all. A lot of y'all here because y'all want to get ripped and y'all want to get rich, and you want to do it with the quickness, I would imagine. Oh no, before we get into that, guys, real quickly, hold up. Again, if you haven't already, I want y'all to go to the Ripped Roadmap, all right, and fill out this assessment. It's for all you got to do is going to ask you like 4 questions: your height, your weight, your gender, and you upload a photo of yourself, right? Preferably shirtless, right? And then you enter your goal. You're trying to get shredded. You're trying to build muscle. There's a few other options in there. And then what it's going to do, we're going to take all that data and the photo, and the AI is going to assess all this. I built this for you guys, right? The AI is going to assess all of this and then spit out a game plan for you to hit your goal. It's going to tell you what your body fat percentage is. And it's scary accurate, right? What your body fat percentage is, how much fat you're holding, how much body fat you're holding. And then it's going to get, most importantly, it's going to give you the calories and the protein you need to hit every day to accomplish that goal. And you can adjust the fats and the carbs. It's like a little slider. So, because some people like high carbs. Some people like high carbs with low fat. Some people like low carbs and high fat, like me. Some people like a balance, right? Whatever. You can adjust it and slide it, and it's going to give you the exact calories and macros you need to hit your goal. You can make the adjustments with the fats and calories. And then it's going to show you like what you can expect every week, physique wise, if you follow that game plan. All right, it's 100% free. I built this for y'all. Click that link and let's get it. All right, guys. The title of this episode is How to Get Ripped and Rich. I did both, and I've been doing both for quite some time. So I want to break down, give you the 5 things you need to do to accomplish that in your own life. Let's get it. You want to get rich and you want to be ripped. Don't nobody want to be fat and rich. That's weird. People still laughing at you. And if you get any girls under those circumstances, they only want you for your money. And they'll have to. That's how you attract the gold diggers, by only having gold to offer. And if you're just ripped and broke, You might be able to get some girls, man, but they only want you for your body. Don't nobody want that. But you also want to be ripped and rich so you can set an example for your family. If you have kids, you want to set a physique, and you want to have a physique and a lifestyle that's admirable to your children, to your offspring, because one day you're going to tell your kids, hey, man, you can be whatever you want. And one of two things are going to happen. One, they're going to believe you. And then they'll look at you if you're not ripped and you're not rich, and like, Dad, if we can be whatever you want, you wanted to be fat and fucking mediocre? You wanted to be fat and worrying about the bills? You wanted to be overweight, out of breath, telling me that we can't afford shit, Dad? Is that what you wanted? So if they believe you, they're going to think you a bitch. Or what's more likely is they're going to be like, come on, man, if that was true, you and Mom wouldn't be all fat and clipping coupons to bring to the grocery store. Come on, man. That's bullshit. I'm going to be a fat bus driver just like you, Dad. That's who we are. You don't want that. You want to give your children something to aspire to. Set a legacy for them. You know, and if you do that right, man, you'll be in better. You have a better chance of. You'll be a better chance of raising some offspring that will really thrive as they become adults. Because make no mistakes, fat adults have fat kids because they teach them those habits. You don't want that, and I don't want that for you or your offspring. So there are 5 things you need to do so instead of having that happen, there are 5 things you need to do so you end up being ripped and rich soon. Within 90 days. If you within 90 days, you can be on your within 90 days, you can be on your way to accomplishing that if you follow these 5 rules. Number 1, you got to be an extremist. I told this story earlier in the podcast. If you heard it, shut up and listen to it again. My buddy Connor Murphy passed away about a week ago. And there was a time when him and I were really close. And one of the first times we hung out, it was me, him, and a bunch of other people. And we were at this restaurant in Texas where he was at college at the time. And we were all eating, and when the food came, I pulled a little small digital scale out of my bag. At the same time, Connor pulled his scale out of the bag, and we looked at each other like, oh. And then we started talking about it. The fact that we both use a scale and we track our macros and calories every meal. Connor was taking it further than me at the time. He was tracking his condiments. Like if he had some barbecue sauce, he would weigh that. As a result, he was in amazing shape. Like not regular shape, amazing shape. So much so that people accused him of being on steroids when he was natural. And I was natural at the time as well. And I was getting accused of being on steroids. People were making YouTube videos, 40-minute YouTube videos about me being on steroids. And I was natural. Full disclosure, I am not natural now, but I'm 43. I'm on testosterone replacement therapy. I went on that around age 40. I digress. We were both natural, getting accused of being on steroids all the time. But what people didn't realize is we were doing things that they weren't doing. And that's why we were getting results that they weren't getting. And if they were doing the shit that we were doing for a long enough period of time, they'd get those results too. Like how many humans have you met that carry a scale around to weigh all their food? How many humans have you ever seen weigh their condiments? Probably never. You talking to 2 dudes who had been doing that for me over a decade For him, a little less longer, but he was younger, so he's just getting better results. So we were getting amazing results from that, so much so that people could not believe it. They said these guys have to be on steroids, but that's because they have never pushed themselves to the extreme. And that's what I implore you to do. You ain't got to do the exact same thing I do, but if you did carry a scale around with you, you're guaranteed to get results. But whatever you're trying to accomplish, whether it's a fitness goal or whether it's a business goal, go at it with the sort of intensity that people think is insane. It should look crazy to everyone else, because sometimes it looks crazy. I'm sure it looks crazy to people when I'm bring out my scale and weigh my food at the restaurant. If they see it, the truth is I know how to do it very discreetly and clandestine, where no one really sees it unless they're at the table with me. But those are my friends and loved ones, so it's not a big deal. And even if they were strangers, like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care what people think about me. I'm a G. I'll fuck you up. But you may care, right? You can, whatever. You got to be an extremist. Because if you're not extreme, then how can you expect extreme results, right? Extreme results have to come from extreme actions. The world's not crazy enough for it to happen any other way. It's just cause and effect. If you do regular shit or average shit, you're going to get what? Average results in fitness and business and your relationships. If you do shit the regular way that regular people do it, you're going to get the regular shit that everyone gets. If you behave in an average manner, you put in an average amount of effort, you can't help but get average results. And here's the thing. Average is not good. Let me give you some statistics. So the average American is overweight, right? Adults in this country, 66% of adults in America are obese. 66% of adults. 42% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their bank account. This is what average gets you. This is average. Broken fat. So if this is average, and we already established that average effort gets you average results, and we know that this is average, this is nothing to aspire to. This is why I say be an extremist. So let's get some extreme results. Let's get results way better than this. Every once in a while, I'll give some advice. I had a video said, man, get 20,000 steps per day if you want to lose weight like super fast. And somebody says, man, the average person can't do this. Bitch, I know that. The average person is a bitch like you. These motherfuckers who say shit like, man, everything in moderation, slow and steady wins the race, all that shit, those are the battle cries of the mediocre. Oh, man, have some fun, eat a little, live a little, all this shit. No, man. No, man. Average people say that sort of shit. And I remember, to put a bow on this, I remember at that same dinner, I asked Connor, hey, man, so what do you do if you don't hit your, Connor, what do you do if you go over your calories one day? Do you get less the following day? Or if you don't get enough protein, do you try to get more the next day? And he looked at me with a kind of bewildered face. And he was like, man, that doesn't happen. I hit my calories and my macros every day. I was like, yeah, no matter what, huh? He said, yeah, no matter what. You think I'm out here fucking around? He didn't say that in those words, but that was the sentiment. You think I'm fucking around, motherfucker? And I was like, man, I feel the exact same way. And from that moment on, a friendship was born. That's what it takes, man. You want to be an extremist. You can't be a regular person doing regular shit, expecting to get extreme results. So here's the game plan. This is what I want you to do. In the main 3 areas of life, health, which includes fitness, health, wealth, and relationships, pick one goal in each one of those categories. And I want you to look at those one goals and then make a plan to accomplish those. But instead of saying, hey, man, what do I have to do to accomplish this goal? That's what regular motherfuckers do. That's average shit. All right, we already established what average gets you. Instead of that, make the plan and think to yourself, how much effort would I have to put in to make it impossible to fail? Then the plan that you come up with is going to be way more intense. That's how you get an extreme plan. And if you're willing to execute that, your success in it is inevitable, provided you're not playing a zero-sum game, right? Like a zero-sum game would be like the World Cup. One team is going to win the World Cup. You know, that's a zero-sum game. But we're not playing zero-sum games. You getting ripped is not a zero-sum game. You making a bunch of money is not a zero-sum game, right? So you can accomplish that with certainty if you make your plan revolve around putting in so much effort that failure would be impossible. That's how I've accomplished all my goals. I could stop the video right here because that's it. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. And before I get to the next one, there's one more thing you need to do. As you're executing this plan, some of that bullshit, average, regular motherfucker thinking is going to enter your brain, and you're going to say stuff. Man, I ain't got to do this today. Man, I worked out the other days. I can take a day off. Or, man, I followed my diet a bunch of days in a row. I deserve this. I can eat this. When that happens, I want you to ask yourself, just ask yourself, am I trying to see how much I can get away with? Or am I trying to see, or am I trying to be the best I can be? Really think about that. Am I trying to see how much I can get away with? Or am I trying to see how much I can get away with? Or am I trying to be the best I can be? Am I trying to get away with shit? Or am I trying to see how far I can push myself? Am I trying to do a good job? Or am I trying to see how much of my potential I can actually bring to the surface? Because most of you have never pushed yourself, never really pushed yourself. Once you start really pushing yourself, you will be amazed at how much you could accomplish. It will be shocking, and it will shock the people around you. Initially, they'll think you're fucking crazy. They'll think you're working too hard, you're doing too much. Within 90 days, they'll see the fruits of your labor. They will be on display for the world to acknowledge, whether they want to or not. And if you do this right, they'll accuse you of cheating. They'll say you must be on steroids because they can't fathom putting in that amount of effort to accomplish a goal that they really give a fuck about. Which brings us to number 2. Which brings us to the second habit. Track everything. Because once you have this plan in place, now you have to make sure you're doing everything right. And the plan is going to need to get adjusted. A lot of times, I'll be talking to somebody and they're thinking about, and I'll be talking to somebody and they're trying to lose weight. They're trying to get in shape. They're trying to lose their gut. And they'll say, man, I tried everything. I tried it all. Just can't lose this gut. And I'll say, well, how many calories are you getting per day? And they'll be like, I don't know, man. You know, man, I eat good. I eat healthy. They'll try to avoid the question initially. They're like, man, I'm eating healthy. You know, yesterday I had a salad, you know, and no, bitch, nigga. How many calories are you eating per day? And they'll be like, I don't know. Motherfucker, you have not tried everything. Or maybe you've tried everything except the one thing that works is tracking your calories and macros. You say you tried this, you tried that. You a try baby is what you are. You a try baby. We ain't doing that shit around here. We not try babies. The only time I want to hear you say try is I'm going to do this or die trying. That's the only acceptable way to use that word in a complete sentence where I won't look down on you. And with a mixture of disgust and pity. But if you're tracking everything, then you'll have the metrics and we'll be able to see why you're not accomplishing your goals. It's like that with everything. Imagine if you ran your finances like that. Yeah, man, I don't track how much I spend, or I don't really keep track of how much money I make. I just kind of spend money intuitively. Or, you know, I tracked it at once and now I kind of just eyeball it. You're going to be fucking broke. Or you broke now because you've been saying that shit. Imagine if a business, like a real business, if motherfucking Amazon didn't keep track of everything. I'm like, yeah, man, we don't really track our inventory. We don't really see how much we're selling every week to know how much we should order. We just kind of order intuitively. Your Prime deliveries would be late as hell. But for some reason, like that shit doesn't work with anything. A teacher, yeah, I don't really grade my students' papers. I just give them grades at the end of the year during report cards. I just do it intuitively. I kind of just, you know, go by how I feel. You get fired, bitch. We don't do that in any other area of life where it's important. For some reason, whatever people want to do with food. But here's the thing, you got to track everything. You got to track it all. All right. So we're going to keep it with the calorie examples, but that's not all I'm talking about. I've been tracking my calories and macros for almost 20 years. Not only that. Oh, so if you were to ask me, pick any date over the last 10 years, randomly pick a date. I can tell you how many calories I ate that day. I can tell you how much protein I got. I can tell you how many calories I burned. Maybe not if we go too far because we didn't have wearables. But I track everything. I can tell you how much water I drank that day. I can tell you how much money I made. I can tell you how many times I posted to social media that day. I can tell you if I had sex or not. I can tell you everything because you got to track shit. If you're not tracking, you're slacking because you don't know what's happening. In order to accomplish a goal, you don't accomplish it one day. It comes from doing things over and over again with consistency. But if you're not tracking, you'll say shit like, yeah, man, I work out a lot. Or, yeah, man, I'm posting a lot. You know, I teach people how to grow their online fitness businesses. And I've taught over 15,000 people how to grow successful online fitness businesses. And every once in a while, I'll be on the calls. I do weekly live calls with them, live trainings with them. I talk to my students every week. And every once in a while, a guy will say, man, I'm trying to get some more clients, but I can't get no leads. I'm like, well, brother, how much are you posting per week? How many posts did you do last week? He'll say, so, oh man, I post a lot. You know, like I post a lot. What's the number, bitch? And then he'll say, oh man, I don't know, it's a lot. So I'll have to go to this fucking loser's Instagram and count. And like, bitch, you posted twice last week and 3 times the week before. Hey, you know what? If you want to make money online every day, you probably got to be online every day. Am I right? But he believed he was posting a lot because he wasn't tracking. Like when you don't have the numbers, you can bullshit yourself. But when you have the numbers, you can't bullshit yourself. For example, this is my log from last month. I track everything, right? The dates is wrong here, but whatever, I got to change that. But look, I can tell you exactly what time I woke up every day, all my habits, how much I slept, if I worked out, if I meditate. I'm supposed to meditate twice a day. I can see that. I can see all my macros are here, right? How many proteins, grams, right? How can I fail if I have this? You know, I can show you how much water I drink each day. Then these other habits, things I need to do every day. I'm tracking it all. I'm tracking how much money I make. I'm tracking business stuff, how many leads we get. Boom. I'm tracking everything. Because those are the outcomes. Like the outcomes are a result of what you do every day. So if you're not tracking it, you're kind of asking to fail. If you want your version of this, so you can start tracking this stuff the way I do, there's a link in the description. It's called the Victory Vision Planner, and it comes with instructions on how to fill it out and how to do it. It's free. It's just a Notion template, all right? And Notion is free as well, right? But then I hooked that shit up to Claude Code and had it make me a graph. So now I can see it from a graphical perspective, right? I can see everything, average calories, average protein per day, how much money I made, habit completion, average. I grade my quality of life. I grade my health. I grade how much business, how I feel about my business these days, quality of my relationships. Boom. Then I have all my habits here, right? So I have like data, like real data, and I can look at it. And now I'm not saying, oh man, I'm trying. No, man, I can see exactly what happened and I know why it happened. So if I don't hit my goals, I can just look at the habits. I can look at the metrics. You get what I'm saying? It's hard to fail when you have all the data, because the thing is, life is just math. People try to make life and success way more complicated than it is. It's just math. If you want to have a successful business, you have to sell a product or service for more money than it costs you to deliver it. That's it. It's just math. If you want to lose fat, you have to burn more calories you consume. If you want to do that and retain your muscle, you got to get 1 gram protein per pound of body weight. It's all math. Life is just math. It's just data. But motherfuckers will do everything except the things that count. So then they'll start doing affirmations and bitches start collecting crystals. Dudes start doing no fat. Women start doing astrology, thinking that all this mystical shit is going to make them successful. No, bitch, it's data. It's numbers. You got to have the data. And you don't have it if you're not tracking. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to download that tracking sheet, the Victory Vision Planner. And I only showed you one page of it. There's another page where you can plan out your actual goals. Because remember, in step 1, I talk about planning out your goals. It shows you how to make the plan, right? And you can plan it out. Because and then you'll be able to plan everything out. Yeah, you'll be able to plan everything out. And then you'll be able to plan the things you have to do daily to accomplish that goal. And then every day, instead of having to look at your whole goal, because that can be discouraging, looking at your goal so far away, and you seem so far away from it that it almost feels insurmountable. It feels unattainable. But the truth is, your goal is just is just a collection of steps, right? The whole path to your goal is a collection of steps. And if every day you do the things you're supposed to do every day, and you take those steps every day, then you just have to focus on today. And then you focus on the next day. You don't have to look at all the way down the horizon where your goal is. Just focus on today. Make today a victory. Then you can be happy today. But a lot of you guys, you're looking at your goal and it's so far away. It's like, fuck, man. And then you get discouraged because you might work hard for a week or two. And you're like, man, I'm still mad far. But if you have the data, you're like, oh, man, I'm getting closer. I can see myself getting closer. I can see it happening. And you'll be able to approach your goal with a lot more enthusiasm. All right. Habit number 3, learn to enjoy the sacrifice. So it's been, you may have heard me say in the past, if you don't sacrifice for your goals, then the goals become the sacrifice. I've said that many times. And I've heard other people echo those same sentiments. And here's the thing, though. It's a sacrifice either way. For example, if you're supposed to work out really hard today, for example, if you're supposed to go to the gym today, right? But your coworkers having to get together after work. Now you got a decision. Do I want to sacrifice my long-term goals for momentary pleasure? Or do I sacrifice momentary pleasure for my long-term goals? That's what it always is. Life is a game of trade-offs. You're always making a sacrifice. You can't get around it. You have to sacrifice either way. If you need to stay up late, or if you need to stay up and work on your business instead of going to the function, to the get together, again, life's a game of trade-offs. It's your long-term goals versus momentary pleasure. And the thing is, most of the things that feel good momentarily are bad for you long-term, right? Sugar, alcohol, recreational drugs, casual sex. Long-term, these things aren't good for you. Once in a while, everything, that's one thing. But the thing about doing something once in a while is it becomes habit forming, you know? And the things that you don't really enjoy that much, that aren't necessarily that entertaining or enjoyable short-term, are typically things that are good for you long-term, right? Eating vegetables, working out. Some of y'all like working out. I fucking hate it. And if you worked out with me, you'd hate it too. Dieting. Locking in. Missing out on all the functions because you're locking in. But it's good for you long-term, right? There's a way around it. There's a cheat code. It's something I call reframing. So you can set up reframes in your brain that allow you to enjoy the sacrifice. For example, you may have heard me say, sugar is for women and children. Obviously, that's hyperbole, right? It's over the top. There's a lot of fucking guys who eat a lot of sugar, who are in better shape than me, stronger than me, can probably whip my ass, right? I saw John Jones eat a candy bar once. I'm confident he could beat me up, right? He's a professional fighter. One of the best of all time. But I still say that, right? I still say, man, sugar's for women and children. And I've said it so much that it's almost like it's become a reframe in my brain. Even though it's not necessarily true, we can find examples of reasons why it's not true. I've said it so much that now when I avoid the sugar, it feels good, right? Because it's not who I am. It's not part of my identity. You get what I'm saying? Or you may have heard me say in the past that if I wake up past 6, I kind of hate myself a little bit. Now, there is some truth to that. but I probably embellish it a little bit. Like I can get over it most of the time. But because I say that, it helps me get to sleep early, right? Because I gotta get at least 7 hours of sleep. So it prevents me from staying up late, because I'm like, yo, I'm gonna hate myself if I sleep past 7. I mean, I'm gonna hate myself if I sleep past 6, right? That reframe is kind of program my mind. And what it did is, it's almost like a self-hypnosis, because I've said these things so many times that they've become my default response. Even if I don't say it out loud, I think it in my head. And it becomes a self-hypnosis where now you kind of enjoy doing the things that were a sacrifice. For example, I was at dinner with some people. This was a while ago. And for the first time, they saw me bring my scale out to weigh the food at dinner, right? And somebody looked at me like, man, I could never do that, man. I couldn't be that disciplined. And because I'm a nice guy, when I talk to people, I was like, yeah, man, man, I got to do it because of my business, man. You know what it is, man. You got to find something that works for you. That's what I said. But what I was thinking was, you goddamn fucking right you can't do what I do. All right? I'm way better than you at many things. This is just one of a long list of things I do significantly better than you. And it's not the most important thing on that list. It's not the most impressive thing on that list. It's not even close. You could never be me. And I'm slightly offended that you would even think about comparing yourself to me. That's what I was thinking. I don't say that, right? But what it does is, the sacrifice allowed me to take some joy in the sacrifice, the pride in the sacrifice. Obviously, I'm not going to be a dick to this person. I'm going to be super nice to humans, right? Because I'm strict on myself, but I'm super lenient with everyone else. Like, I don't try to impose my beliefs. I'm not one of these guys who say, man, everybody needs to do this. No, you do whatever you want, brother. You know what I'm saying? I hold myself to a super high standard. I don't hold anyone else to any sort of standard. I don't really give a fuck what anyone else does with their life. It's kind of none of my business. I digress. So I see that all the time now. Now when people say, oh man, you don't have to do that, or you don't have to wake up that early, or you don't have to work that hard, right? When I say, man, I work like 80 hours a week. And people are like, oh man, that's too much. You ain't got to do that. Oh man, what about this? And what about that? And I just think to myself, I'm not a dick, so I don't say anything bad to them. I think to myself, yeah, man, you can never be me. There's no fucking way you could do what I do. Right. And that reframe allows me to enjoy the sacrifice more. Right. You start taking pride in doing things that other people find difficult or arduous. And I'm not saying you got to be a dick about it, or you don't even have to be as extreme as me, right? You don't even have to be derogatory to other people the way I am mentally. You can just say, you can just take it as a sign. No, here's what you do. Every time you want to do something, every time there's something you're supposed to do, but you don't feel like doing it, or you want to do something else instead, right? You're thinking about which sacrifice to make. I want you to think to yourself, well, what sacrifice would the winner make? The version of me who accomplished all my goals in the future, the version of me who accomplished all my goals 5 years from now, what decision did he make right now? Which one did he make? Did he go to the party and do the Molly with the whores? Or did he stay home and lock in? And then you'll know what you're supposed to do. And when you do the one you're supposed to do, what's going to happen is you'll have a sense of pride about yourself. And then doing that over and over again, you'll teach yourself to enjoy making the sacrifice, enjoy making the right decision. And you don't have to, but I think it's kind of cool to develop a superiority complex as a result. You don't have to though, But it will make you more confident in yourself. A lot of you guys aren't confident in yourself because you haven't given yourself a reason to be confident. You be bullshitting yourself. You make all these plans. You say you're going to do all this shit, but you don't do it. Right? You tell yourself you're going to do something, then you don't do it. So you don't what? You don't trust yourself. And you're not proud of yourself. And you can bullshit everyone else. You can act like bravado. You can go start. You can do your best Andrew Tate impression and all that shit. But if it won't be real or genuine unless you are really doing things that you're proud of and doing them when no one's looking. Like I'm doing all types of shit every day. Like you may think, oh, Brandon's pretty disciplined. I hear people say that. You motherfuckers don't know the half. Like this shit I don't talk about that would blow your fucking mind. This shit I don't say because I don't think people would believe it. But I know I did it. And I know I do it on a consistent basis. And that gives you a kind of pride that you can't really replicate. That gives you a kind of confidence that shines through. Right? And a lot of that is going to come from you really like having these reframes and believing in and having these reframes where you can enjoy the sacrifice and start taking pride in the sacrifice. I think you're going to find that really helpful. All right. The next thing you need to do, the next habit that will help make you more successful, habit number 4 that will make you more successful is picking the right woman. No matter how strong you are, no matter how confident you are, your weakest point is always going to be your heart. Right? I remember I saw this video. When I was younger, I saw this movie called Belly featuring Nas and DMX. It's not a good movie. You don't have to see it. But I saw it over 100 times. Because when I used to watch the DVD, I was living a lifestyle that was very congruent and on brand with the themes in that film. And I remember this one scene where Nas, he wanted to give up a life of crime and move to Africa. And he was telling DMX. And DMX said, "What, nigga? You listening to a bitch? Man, bitches will fuck your whole shit up." And I just remember that line. That's the only line I remember from the movie. Bitches will fuck your whole shit up. Because they will. If you pick the wrong one. It's super easy. They're mental terrorists. But if you have the right one, then she'll propel you. She'll support you. She'll give you the support you need. And she can take you to the next level. Like one of my reasons why I became like way more successful over the last few years was because of my girlfriend, right? She's there like holding me down and she on a supportive way and not stressing me out. In fact, she takes away stress. Where other bitches will give you mad stress. And it's the easiest way to fuck your whole shit up. Just run through your mental Rolodex of times in your life where you really fell off. I guarantee you 80% of the time, a woman was at the center of it. I promise you, 80%. Every time one of my sales team's numbers start to slip, I ask, "Man, what's going on, man? What's up? What's going on with your close rate?" And then we'll dig deeper into it. And it's like, "Yeah, man, I'm having problems with my girl. I'm doing all this shit." Yeah, I knew it, motherfucker, because that's what's going to be most of the time. It's going to be that. All right. But here's the thing. You got to pick the right girl, but you can't pick the right girl if you're not the right guy. Because she won't be available to you. For example, think about the perfect woman for you, your dream girl. Imagine how she looks, how she behaves, her personality, how supportive she is, how feminine she is. How does she dress? Does she have a career? Does she stay at home? Whatever your preferences are, imagine her, right? The perfect woman. Now you may be tempted to think, what do I have to do to get her? No, you need to be thinking, what kind of man would I have to be so this chick is finger banging herself to me? Because she's finger banging herself to somebody. And if you need to figure out what that dude, you need to figure out how you can become that dude. And there's an issue with a lot of men's self-help, like currently. Not all the guys talk about being well-rounded. For example, the 3 of the pillars of attraction are looks, money, and status. Those are 3 of the pillars that guys talk about. But if you just optimize for one, you'll be able to get girls, but you won't be able to get all girls. You'll narrow your focus. And because your expertise is so narrow, you end up getting women who are just superficial. For example, if you only focus on getting money, you'll be able to get girls, but if all you have to offer is money, then you can only attract gold diggers. You get what I'm saying? Like your girl, she won't want you. Or if you do get her with just money, she's going to behave differently with you than she would with the guy she really likes, right? She could be the perfect girl and she'll settle for you because you're rich, but now she's just using you for your money, right? Because your perfect girl is not perfect for everyone. Your perfect girl won't behave the way you have in your mind with every dude. Different people bring out different aspects of other people's personality. Same thing if you only focus on looks, right? You may get some, if all you have to have is looks, then you'll only get girls who only want that. And if you're really young, I can see that being advantageous for a brief period of time. But sooner or later, that chick's gonna grow up and want to get serious about life. You know what I'm saying? And she ain't gonna just want the pretty motherfucker, you know. Right. But if that's all she wants, she's probably not your ideal girl anyway. Not your ideal girl. She might be a girl you want to have fun with, right? She only wants you for and I'm not telling you what you should desire. I'm just telling you, I'm just giving you some facts. You know? You want to get your ideal girl, but you want her to want you just as much, if not more. Because if she doesn't really want you, if she's settling for you for some reason, she won't behave the same way with you as she would with the guy she really, really wants, with like her Prince Charming, because she has an ideal guy too. And if you get her and you're not him, she won't behave with you the way she would behave with him. I hope I'm articulating this right. Let me give you an example. So years ago, there was this girl that I really liked, man. I was into her, you know, and she was showing interest in me, and we were supposed to hang out one day. She hit me up the day of, said she had to cancel because she had to go somewhere with her mama. And I believed her, you know, she had to go somewhere with her mama. That's fine. I get it. It wasn't like urgency. It wasn't an urgent. She didn't have to go with her mom to the emergency room or to bury a family member. They would have to go to like Lowe's or some shit, right? It's fine, right? It's fine. I didn't get mad. But I did think to myself, would she have said that to Drake? No, seriously, would she have said that to Drake? I don't believe she would have. I believe that she would have told her mom, hey, mom, I'm going to take you to the grocery store anytime. Matter of fact, here's money for Instacart. Get that shit delivered. I got a date with Drake. And I believe her mama would have said, girl, you better go on that date with Drake. Get us a new house. I don't believe her mom would have been like, well, I don't believe her mom would have been like, nah, fuck Drake. We got to go to Costco. I don't think that would happen. You know, it was a reasonable excuse, like helping your mom. Hey, I love that she's family. She has a family orientation. However, she would have flaked on her mom for Drake instead of flaking on me for her mom. And I say that to say, you need to become the kind of man that will make your ideal woman flake on her mama for you. As the vogue. And that's the only way you're going to get your ideal girl. Because even if you get your ideal girl, the actual girl, if you are not that man, she won't behave with you the way she would with her ideal man. You're going to have lifetime of conflict. She's going to be fucking shit testing you, doing all types of dumb shit, arguing with you, being a goddamn headache. But you got to think, her ideal man, there ain't many of them. He's probably financially successful. He's probably in great shape, not good shape, great shape. He's probably got a good personality. He's probably well-rounded. And if you're missing any of those, then, you know, there's going to be some conflict. So to get that girl, you got to be that guy. But once you're that guy, now you have so many women to pick from because there aren't many of them in existence. But it won't be like, how do I get that girl? It'll be like, how do I choose which one of these girls who are trying to get me? How do I pick the right one? And you'll attract instead of chasing. And that's always a better dynamic for you to be in. I hope that makes sense. I hope I articulated that in a way that makes sense for you guys. Now, there's one more cheat code. Hold on, let me pull this up. The fifth cheat code is to raise your standards. So we talked about the try babies. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. But the thing is, when you say you're trying to do something, that means you just want it. You just want it. But the problem with that is you don't get what you want. You get what you have to have. Think about all the goals you ever set in your whole life. Now think about the ones you did not accomplish. Were they things that you kind of wanted? They were like good ideas, things that it'd be cool if I could do that? Or were they things that you had to have? I already know the answer. They were just things you kind of wanted. Because if you had to have them, you would have them. We don't rise to our ambitions, we fall to our standards. So it's not about wanting more or even being ambitious. It's about accepting no less. So instead of, I want to try to get to 10% body fat, it has to be, I refuse to accept anything less than 10% body fat. Instead of saying, man, I'm trying to working on, I want to see if I can get to 10K a month. You got to say, I refuse to make less than 10K a month. That's different. That's a standard. It's kind of just like what Connor said earlier. When I asked Connor, what happens if you don't hit your macros? What happens if you don't hit your calories? What do you do the next day? He said, that doesn't happen, because it was a standard. You have to set standards, not goals. We're not creating habits. We're setting standards. A standard, things you do no matter what. It's like brushing your teeth is a fucking standard. It's not, oh, I'm trying to brush my teeth every day. No, you brush your teeth every day, most of you. It's not, oh man, I'm trying to take a shower every day. I'm just working on it, but I got school and work and this. No, you take the shower every day because it's a standard. You need to approach everything like that. Your life is a reflection of your standards. How much money you have, the kind of woman you're with, your physical appearance is a reflection of your standards. You putting your standards on display and everyone sees them. And that may sound harsh and it might hit some of you on the soul in a negative way. And I want that. I want that. I don't want you to feel bad. I want you to approach your goals with more urgency. Raise the standards, set standards. I have a standard of at least a gallon of water a day, at least 1 gram of protein, per pound of body weight per day. These are standards. These are not things I'm trying to do. I need to post on social media every day. It's not something I'm trying to do. It's a fucking standard. Sleep 7 hours a day. I'm not trying to sleep 7 hours. It's a standard. And you only drop your standards for emergencies, not because you feel like it or you deserve a day off or you got school and work. No, man, you don't drop your standards. I'm telling you to raise your standards. Because you will not rise to your ambitions. You will fall to your standards. You don't get what you want. You get what you have to have. It has to be a must. So now, once you download the Victory Vision Planner, you can edit your own habits, right? Put them in there, make them standards. If you don't hit them, I want you to be angry with yourself. See, a lot of times you guys are not consistent is because one of the reasons you guys are not consistent or you struggle with consistency is because you accept inconsistency. You say shit like, oh man, I did it most days, or, everything in moderation. One day won't hurt, man. I can take one day off. It won't hurt. Those are the battle cries of the inconsistent. Those are the affirmations of the mediocre. All right. That's what regular people do. Again, if you do what regular people do, you're going to get regular people results. If you do regular shit, you're going to get regular results. All right. You need to hold yourself to a higher standard than regular people if you want to be extremely successful. Doesn't it make sense? If you want to be extremely successful, you got to hold yourself to extreme standards. So you don't get to say shit like one day won't hurt. Oh, I can take the day off. Or no, you can't accept that from yourself. You have to hold yourself to extreme standards for extreme success, because you don't get what you want to have. You get what you Because you don't get what you want. You get what you have to have. You don't rise to your ambitions. You fall to your standards. And if you want an extremely successful life, you have to have extremely high standards for yourself. Again, nobody else. I'm not out here judging people or talking shit to people or calling them bitches and shit. I mean, sometimes, right? But like in real life, I'm very nice, jovial, gregarious with everyone I meet. And if I see somebody doing some bitch nigga shit, or sitting around being fat and poor, I don't like make fun of them or get mad at them. I might do it for y'all for jokes, but in real life, I'm looking at them like, damn, man, you don't even know how much potential you have. Every one of you don't even know how much potential you have. And I look at it like you're just squandering it, man. If you could really just fucking push yourself and raise your standards and really put effort in being the best you could be. If you did that for just 90 days, man, you would be amazed at what you could accomplish. You don't even know how good your life can get. You don't even know how much of your potential you can bring to the surface if you fucking held yourself to a high standard for just 90 days. And what's going to happen if you do that, you're going to become addicted to it. And you're going to start to love it. You may not love the things that get you there, but you'll love the results. You love the way you look. You love the way you feel. You love the way people behave around you. You'll love the way your girlfriend or your sex partners look at you in admiration. You'll love the way your friends start asking you for advice, and then you could help them and bring them up. You'll love the way your family starts to get inspired, and they will want to start changing their habits. You will start to fall in love with that, and most importantly, you will like yourself more. Because deep down in your heart, you know you're capable of more, but you're not pushing yourself, so you're never bringing it to fruition. But if you can do that, man, do that for 90 days. On the other side of that is a life that's better than you can imagine. Like it's actually better than whatever you think it is. I promise you it is. It's better. Whatever you think it is, it's better. I got something that'll help you with that, at least from a fitness standpoint. I got something called the Ripped Roadmap. If one of your goals is to get in great shape, like amazing shape, then the Ripped Roadmap will help you do that. The link's in the description. What I want you to do is click that link, hit Start Assessment. It's going to ask you your height, weight, age, gender, and then you upload a photo of yourself. Preferably a shirtless photo. If you're one of the 3 women watching this, a bikini photo or something like that, and upload in there, and then the AI will take all that information and analyze your photo, and it's going to immediately tell you how much body fat you're holding. Oh, I'm before. It's also going to ask you what your goal is, right? And it's going to immediately tell you how much body fat you're holding, what your body fat percentage is. But most importantly, it's going to give you the calories and macros you need to hit every day to actually accomplish those goals. And then it's going to give you an outline of what you can expect every day, every week for the next 90 days. If you actually followed it. It's 100% free. The link is right there. Check it out. I want to leave you with this. Your life is a reflection of your standards. So if you don't like the life you're living, it's only because you've accepted it. That may sound harsh, but I want it to be empowering for you. I want you to look at it like, okay, well, if I raise my standards and start expecting more from myself, that means I can get more from myself. And I implore you to put that into motion today. I think we got some super chats. I didn't expect to go this long today, but I was on a fucking roll. What's good?
Yeah, you were. All right, we have Alex back. So his previous comment was, BC, sending my thanks. I plan on asking for cash flow next week. Since I'm writing stories for passive income, I just want something more proactive. And then he follows with, how to make money. I want to learn.
Hey man, well, hit me up next week. You know, that's all. I love talking about different ways to make money. Money is one of my favorite subjects. Financial abundance, the acquisition of capital. It's hard for me to think about much else.
And then we have Regna back. How do I force 100% effort and output for 4 hours?
I mean, you know, it's going to take some training, you know. It doesn't have to be 4 consecutive hours. You can do 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon. You know, that may help. You know, it's going to take some training. You got to train yourself to work hard. You know, and you're going to fuck up for the first few weeks. Then you'll notice you're getting better and better. Right? It's just training. It's a skill, like anything else. The more you do it, the better you get at it.
We have Ben. How do we find other people just as determined and obsessed as us? Most people like me like the sound of it, but not the investment and sacrifices. Even a dude I'm trying to hire and pay lacks enthusiasm and drive.
Yeah. The thing is, okay. So your circle, I want you to think of your circle like the solar system. Okay. And once you become that person, you'll start attracting people. Like the sun, its gravitational pull keeps all the planets orbiting. We all move over the sun, right? All the planets. It's 8 or 9 of them if we count. I don't know if we count in Pluto or not anymore, right? But they attract the sun, and so once you become more of that kind of person, the people will just come. It's weird. You won't have to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like your action will speak to yourself. And then the people who see you, people will see you doing this. People who want that too. And especially once you get it popping a little bit, because you can get it popping all by yourself. You don't need no one else to get it popping, right? And once you can start getting it popping at some, people will fall into your gravitational pull. And that's how it works, you know? Like, honestly, that's how it works.
We have Rec Shop. Yo, B, thanks for the free game. Just started taking some of your advice. Currently 30 years old, 6 feet, 265 pounds, with tits and a gut. Yeah. I'll update in 90 days. Also, you're hilarious and mad entertaining. Pause.
Hey, man, I'm glad I can hear. I'm glad to help, man. Listen, I want to see you accomplish those goals, man. Keep us updated. I believe in you, man. I might believe in you more than you believe in yourself, because I just seen so many people do it from all walks of life, all ethnic backgrounds, all socioeconomic classes. I've seen it so many times that I can't believe that anyone who's healthy and physically capable can't do it. All right, so I might believe in you more than you believe in yourself, man. I want to see it happen. I can't wait. Let's go.
I hope you signed up for the Rip the Roadmap. Okay.
Hey, get in that Rip Roadmap, man. It's right there.
It'll be a lot easier. Why are you talking like that?
I'm just turned up right now, man.
We got Freedom Land.
I motivated myself, man. When you're a motivational speaker, you to motivate yourself. You get yourself turned up. I'm ready to jump out a moving car, run through a brick wall. I'm ready for anything right now.
We got Freedom Lands. How did you build the habit of tracking?
Practice. It's like anything else, man. It's like the more you do it, the more it happens. Right. I went to business school, right? And I just noticed, oh man, yeah, real companies track everything. Why wouldn't I do that with my own personal life if that's what leads to success? Right. You know, it's funny. I think the first thing I really started tracking was my macros. And I just noticed, hey man, everyone who tracks their calories and macros is in amazing shape. Not good shape, amazing shape. 100% of them. And everyone who's not in good shape, everyone who's fat doesn't track their macros. Success leaves clues, you know? You could, somebody's thinking, some dumbass starting thinking correlation doesn't equal causation, but it is causation. Like it's clearly causation because gaining fat is just consuming more calories than you burn, right? But if you're not tracking that, how do you even know what you're doing? You know? And then once I saw how it helped with that, I was like, oh, this helps with everything. And then I read some studies on it, and then I just about how tracking improves performance, like in all areas of your life, because now you're more diligent. And it just makes sense. I seen it in business. I saw it in fitness. I was like, all right, man, it makes sense to do it in anything that's important.
We have Mr. Out of Context. I rarely catch the lives, but I download all the victory talks. Thanks for all the game throughout the years, big dog.
Hey, man, I'm glad I can help, homie. Shout out to you. There's some real ones in Canada. I see it. There's a few of y'all left, man. That's all. That's good to hear. Sorry about the World Cup loss. I know y'all give a fuck about that a little bit.
Well, that and the air. Ugh.
Yeah, the air. I know y'all got some air quality issues right now, man. So, like, I hope you got your gas mask on. Point. What up?
Staying safe. We have Skylar. What would be the best full body workout for a 1 hour workout session? I struggle fitting it all in 1 hour.
Pick 1 or 2 exercises per body part. Do 3 to 4 sets of each exercise. What you want to do is, I probably should have spoke about this more in the past, but you want to superset opposing muscle groups. So I superset bicep and triceps, so that speeds up time. I superset back and chest. I don't superset quads and hamstrings because I'm usually just doing squats or leg lifts. And but yeah, the supersets help you save time. But most importantly, you got to time your rest between sets. You gotta time your rest between sets. So I wear my Apple Watch when I work out, right? And with the newer Apple Watches, all I gotta do is say, set 90-second timer. I don't have to push a button. I just lift it up to my face. Set 90-second timer, and it goes in. Then when it goes off, I'm in my next set. Or if I'm really winded a little bit, set 2-minute timer. But I never rest more than 2 minutes. But I'm doing supersets, right? So that helps a lot.
We have Super Hobby with a W and salute.
Hey, that's what's up. Yeah, a lot of you guys who struggle getting like your workout done in timely fashion, you're not timing your sets. You're bullshitting between your sets. You're on your phone. Like a lot of times, I put my phone in my bag. Put on a podcast or an audiobook. Phone in the bag, AirPods playing it. The phone is the biggest thing that slows you down. All right.
That's all we have. Somebody did say that supersetting is hard if the gym is busy.
That's true. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. That might be a constraint that you have, and you might have to find a way to work around it. I work in my condo gym, and they opened like a really nice gym across the street, and now everybody in my condo goes there, and I don't, and now my gym is empty, like always. So I'm super excited about that. It's like I got a private gym sometimes. It'd be like 1 or 2 motherfuckers in there, no matter when I go. It's lit. But I understand. I mean, I used to do it at public gyms. But when in New York, I went to Equinox, and that's never like crowded. No, it can get crowded. Equinox can get crowded. I just don't go. I don't go at prime time. Like even when I did work out in regular gyms, I wouldn't go at prime time for that reason. If that's the only time you can do, then that's a constraint you might have to try to contend with for sure. All right, guys, this has been another episode of the Victory Talk podcast. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
At 5:30.
No, we do it at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday and Thursday. All right, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.